Not here, they just don't die. That's how it works.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. All right, guys, welcome to Subway Water Sport. My name is Bob. I'm one of the managers. I'm also the photographer here. What?
Manager and
Yeah, well, hey, they come and go. What can I tell you?
congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway, you'll find me every morning at 7 o'clock up in the breakfast area. I'll fill you in on any changes to the schedule or what's going on. And you can ask me any questions. I've been here now about a little over 6 years permanently. So know the island pretty well, and of course I know this place really well. Guys, we are a full-service organization, and what that means is a bunch of different things. But basically it means that outside of the first day of diving, your dive equipment will be in the lockers. Our dive masters will be responsible for your BC, your regulator, and your weights with your permission.
Yes.
Okay? So those 3 items will already be on your boat, attached to a fresh tank, and basically in between dives they'll swap them out to another fresh tank, and then at the end of the day they'll have them rinsed, dust cap on them, and rehung back in your locker. Okay? Also, full service means that if you need help getting off or on the boat, just let your dive master know. Okay? If you need help getting off, we can set you up on the swim step, put all your equipment on you there, and you can just roll off the back of the boat. If you need help getting on the boat, basically just, again, let dive master know ahead of time, and remember how you were trained, okay? Heaviest item comes off first. So if you're doing a weight belt, take that off and give that to your dive master, okay? Before you take the BC off. If it's weight integrated, leave the weights in your pockets. Just make sure there's plenty of air in that BC. Otherwise, it's going for a dive without you. Not fun. Okay? Yes.
No, I was waiting.
Sorry.
That's all right.
We'll see you in
So, that's kind of what full service means. Of course, there's a lot of other things. You're each going to have a boat that you're assigned to. We like to keep you on the same boat the whole week. Reason is the dive masters and the captains stay with that boat. They get to know you. They get to know what your style of diving is, what you've seen, what you haven't seen, and basically it's just a lot safer that way. Okay? So, and it also means that at the end of the week, if you feel they've done a really good job for you, you just get an envelope from in the dive shop or up in the reception area. Give it to any one of them and tell them how you want it split on the boat. Okay? They really do appreciate any and all tips. Okay? And they're going to work their butts off to make it happen for you. On the boat, of course, we got Dan, emergency first aid, including oxygen. There's also fresh water on board with cups up above the water container. Please stay hydrated. Number one reason for any kind of problems here is dehydration. Okay? When that sun comes out, it gets really hot. Okay? So please stay hydrated. There's also water right under this black hoodie thing right here on the corner with cups again up above. So make use of that water as best you can. In between the dives, we're going to have fresh fruit for you. So it helps take that salt taste out and that dry mouth out of it. So it really helps out. If you forget everything else I say all day long, there are just 5 rules I ask you to follow while you're diving with us. Number 1 is no deco diving. Please watch your computer. Okay, last week, unfortunately, we were on the other side, and a couple of the divers didn't realize how deep they went, and they went into deco. Okay, so please watch your computer, watch where you are, keep aware of the group. okay? But no deco diving. There's no reason to there. There really isn't, okay? Second one is always with a dive buddy. Okay? Don't go off on your own, please. Okay? Third one is back on the boat, minimum of 500 psi. Don't drain the tanks, okay? Fourth one is don't forget the all-important safety stop. Minimum of 3 minutes at 15. If you can do more than 3, please do more than 3, okay? I'm an old fart, so I like doing 4 or 5 just for the hell of it. And the last one is help us protect the reef. Watch where your fins are. Don't touch anything. Don't bring anything back to the boat but pictures, memories, and lion things. Okay? They're the 3 acceptable items. Okay? So that's kind of the 5 rules, and I'm going to remind you of those almost every day because I don't want anybody getting hurt. We're all about safety here. Regarding back on the boat with 500 psi, if you're back around the boat, please consider a normal dive to be 60 minutes. Okay? Sometimes we will cut it a little short, but basically if the dive master will tell you how much time that he wants to spend at that site, it's usually because we either have something special planned or we've got a long trip or something. The good news is almost all of our diving is less than 5 minutes away from the dock here. Okay? So it's not like you're going to have a long boat ride. There is one day that sometimes is an exception, and I'll talk about that towards the end. The other thing, you never come up right under the boat, okay, or under the ladder. The boat's rocking and rolling, you can really get hurt. Those ladders are non-forgiving. We always have a float device and an 80-foot float line that we throw out the back of the boat. Just come up 5-10 feet behind the boat, latch onto that rope, take off whatever equipment you want, and basically pull yourself over to the ladder, jump up on the ladder and in. Okay? Most of the time, the dive masters, as you're approaching the ladder, will pop your fins. It's not a moray pulling your fins, it's the dive master, okay? But we do that to just expedite people getting up onto the boat and helping them out, okay? So that's kind of the 5 major rules that we have. Along the docks here, you'll each have a locker assigned, okay, with your names on it. Everything is very, very secure here. This place is better than Fort Knox as far as police and security guards go. So if you leave something on the boat or in a rinse tank or in your lockers or anywhere sitting here, I assure you we'll find it in the morning. Okay? We lock the place up. Dive shop is open at 8 in the morning and 4:30 in the afternoon, except for the days that we do a night dive, and then we'll be open till later. Okay? We're watching the weather, guys. I don't know what day we're going to get the night dive in. We also have to make up for today, so you're going to be doing a lot of diving the next couple days. So, sorry about
shucks.
Yeah, we think that.
You mean we have to go to sleep?
that. Yeah, exactly. We might not let you back off the boat. What might happen? All right, so along the front of the dive lockers here, guys, we have some rinse tanks. They're well marked, okay? One for cameras, a couple for wetsuits or dive, the skins and wetsuits and some for the dive equipment. You're welcome to use that stuff. Right below me are 2 freshwater showers. Very nice to rinse yourself off before you go up to lunch after the first morning dive. Our morning dives we normally leave at 8:45 for the first 2 dives. We ask you be down here at least 15 minutes early. Make sure all your personal items are on the boat. Remember, with your permission, we'll have the BC, the regulator, and the weights will already be there. But make sure everything's on board. Make sure you have a full tank. And basically, if it's nitrox, the dive masters will go ahead and check the tanks in front of you so you see what the mix is. But we mix 32 here, or that's a membrane system that we have, so it's pretty consistent across the way. But by regulation, you need to see what it is, and you'll have a separate sheet for those that are diving nitrox that basically you'll fill out. It'll have your name, and that sheet is yours for the week. It'll have your name, maximum operating depth, what the percentage that you saw on it, and basically a serial number, which most of the time we don't use the serial number. Because you normally just have 2 tanks on board in the morning dive and 1 in the afternoon. Okay? So you monitor it, you mark it down, you sign it. Okay? For the rest of you, we have an inventory list that basically we just to make sure all those are on board that need to be on board after each and every dive. At the end of the dive master is going to ask you the 3 important questions. Maximum depth, how long you were down, and basically air. Thank you. How much air was left in your tank? My mind just went. Anyway.
It's a California thing, Bob.
Yeah, no, I've been gone for too long. It's a Honduran thing now. Anyway, so that's what's happening there. Of course, we got the 4 restrooms along here. Each of our boats has heads on it, but like I said, you're only a couple minutes away, okay, from each of the dives. Guys, we're all here for you. So if something doesn't look right, feel right, taste right, smell right, whatever, we need to hear about it. Can't fix it if we don't know it's broke, okay? So please, and like I said, you got the same dive masters and captains for the whole week. Go to them if something doesn't look right, all right? But we really do want to make this experience really good. We really count on having most of you return here on a very regular basis. So we will do everything to make that happen. All right, let's see, some specialty things that go on. Normally today,
I have one question.
Yes.
When we get off the boat, we're responsible for our mask and our fins only,
yeah, whatever other than the 3
and our
things.
wetsuits. Okay, yeah. Okay,
the
that's
3
fine. Thank you.
Other than the 3 things.
Right, that's
You're
yeah.
responsible
No, that's
for
fine.
cameras and all that other good
Okay.
stuff, okay?
I don't have
Now, in between dives, or like at lunch, you don't have to take your equipment off. You
No,
can
no,
just
no,
leave it
yeah.
all on board, okay? It's just at the end of your dive day, take your personal items with you that you want. You can put them in your locker and leave them there. Like I said, everything will be secure. We don't open the lockers until 8 o'clock in the morning, okay? And we lock everything at 4:30, all right? All right, normally we would have a lionfish class today at 4:30 right here on the deck to get certified or recertified or whatever. But basically that lionfish course, I'm not sure it's going to happen today, but it would normally be at 4:30. We'll check in with Buck, the person that does the course, and find out if he's doing one today or not. But in the interim, please sign up on the board if you want to take advantage of that. It is $70 if you don't have the Marine Park Pass. It's $60 if you already got the Marine Park Pass. That does require, that's the only requirement to have the Marine Park Pass. We ask that you purchase one, but it's purely voluntary, okay?
Buy one, please.
Yeah, please buy
It
one.
helps the resort, it helps the coral, it helps get
Yeah.
these guys out there working.
Absolutely. We had a hell of a pandemic down here, as a lot of you have heard. I mean, we do lockdowns a lot different than you do lockdowns in the States. We had 10 months of you were only allowed out once every 10 days out of your house.
Lord.
And basically, there's only one road on the island, so if you got caught out, not on your day, assigned day, basically you lost your driver's license, your registration, and your vehicle.
Jeez.
And it costs $500 US to get your vehicle back.
They got a cool little impound lot. You got to see all the motorcycles around
Yeah,
there.
there's an impound lot you guys pass, still has hundreds of vehicles in it, because the locals can't afford $500.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what a lockdown is, okay? And there were only 5 things open on the whole island during the pandemic. The main grocery store, all the palapas were closed. The banks, the pharmacies, 1 hardware store, and the gas station. And that was it. Okay? Everything else was closed. So, needless to say, the island ran out of food real quick, like within 4 months. Okay, we were completely empty. So the only thing the locals could do was middle of the night sneak out onto the reef and shoot whatever they could. Okay, so you know we need that money for the marine park to come patrol and keep the people, take them back off the reef, because once they start doing it, get them inside. That one you do need to have cash, $10 cash, because it's transparent. It goes directly to the marine park, not to us. Okay, so we appreciate anything. If you're snorkeling, it's $5. If you're diver, it's $10. Okay. So the lionfish course, like I said, sign up today, this morning, before you go up to the rooms or up to the cafeteria, and we'll find out if he's going to do it today or tomorrow afternoon. So he'll be right here on the deck. So that's that. The coral restoration, we have a great program here. Over 50 trees we got out there growing corals. If you're interested in that, basically it's a great program. A lot of times if they get enough people and the weather's good, you can go out and help us either clean the trees or transplant the coral onto the reef. Okay, so it's a lot of fun. That one she does tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. It'll be inside the training facility there. You can sign up on the board for just the talk, no cost to the talk. And if you decide you want to do the actual program, then you can check the box or tell her at the time of the briefing, and she'll get you signed up.
If you've never done it before, it's kind of cool. You get in there, you learn about what kind of reef we're what kind of coral they're trying to restore, get back down the ground. Staghead, what do we got? Elkhorn and stag.
And staghorn.
And you actually get out there and clean some of the stuff that you're going to attach to the reef. So you clean it, then you'll get a bucket of stuff. Coral, actually new coral that you're going to go out and plant, and it's going to grow. Yeah. So you are actually restoring the reef by what you're doing. So it's kind of cool.
That's right. She said that
there's areas that we restored several years ago that we go back and we see what we planted that has actually brought forth fruit, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and we have a great success rate with that program. During the cleaning section, she'll be chopping corals that are ready for transplant, and then basically we'll take those out, and the guests will go help us plant them. So it's a lot of fun. All right, so that's the coral thing. Now, based on the weather, guys, I don't know if it's going to happen this week or not, but usually one day this week, we would go down to our sister resort. Everything you see in all directions is owned by one gentleman. He also owns a big resort all the way at the end of the island called the Mayan Princess. In fact, a couple of their boats are up here this week. There's 2 over there on the side. So basically, what we would do is leave about 15 minutes early. We would head down, we would do a wreck dive on the way down, really nice wrecks on this side. And then we would go down towards the Mayan and do a turtle dive and have lunch at the Mayan. Your wristbands work there for lunch, just like here. Then we would reload the boat after lunch. Then we would do another dive on the way back here, another turtle dive. we'll see how the weather goes, guys. Okay, it really is weather dependent, and it's no fun if the waves are real big. We spending an hour and 20 minutes on the boat going down to the other resort. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you informed every morning of what's going on and what's going to happen. So that's that program. There's also a shark dive here on the island.
I will be taking the group. Now, guys, who has not done a shark dive before? Raise your hand. If you've not done one, raise your hand. It would be worth your while. This is a very laid-back dive. They're all females. They're beautiful sharks. We get down there, literally, they're right in your face. Yeah. And they look at you and they think you're pretty and they go their merry way. Yeah. So this is something, if you've never done a shark dive before, I'm taking the group on Thursday. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah,
There'll be a sign up for that?
yes, it's in the dive shop. Okay. Now I will show the video tomorrow morning at breakfast. Okay, at 7 o'clock in the bar area, it'll be running on a loop. And basically, like Vince says, it's a great dive, anywhere from 10 to 30 gray reefs. All females show up, all 6 to 9 footers. They're impressive looking. They're big puppy dogs.
Watch for Snaggletooth.
Yes.
I call her Snaggletooth. She's got cut.
Snagglepuss, right.
Snaggletooth, she goes from here all the way back to here where she got cut.
Yeah.
But she's beautiful. Oh man! And every time you see her, you're gonna go, okay, I remember that shit.
Yeah. But we know them all by first name, and basically there's a nice 10-foot wall that you can stand against if you're intimidated by sharks coming up behind you. If you're not, you can free swim with them and go out and interact with them. They're not hand-fed. There's a little bucket, 5-gallon bucket with a lid on it and some steel pins.
Oh, that's cool.
Towards the end of the dive master throws it away from the wall. That's the signal to the sharks that it's their turn to open it up. It takes them about 5 minutes to pull the pins, pop the top, and get the 5 fish heads out of it. And then about half of them will disappear. The other half stick around just because they're curious. Very curious animals.
It's really cool. You get to see how trained the dog is.
Yeah.
Straight up, you get to see how trained these animals are in the water.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Exactly.
And the one time I went, I saw a seahorse there too.
Oh, really? Cool. Well,
that's right.
Yeah, big
Right.
grouper that
Oh, the
there's
big
lots of
group you
big
can sit there and
groupers.
pet him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
I'm
lots of big
amazed that they
groupers.
don't eat him.
I know, and they go right in with the sharks, right
Yeah.
into the can. So it's an impressive dive, guys. The thing is, though, it's not our dive, so it costs you $138 US total. That includes the tax. Basically, it's 120 plus tax, and it's about, you're going to lose 2 of our dives. Okay. On Thursday. If we go the early morning one, you'll lose the 2 morning ones. You do the late morning one, you'll do the first dive with us, and then we'll load you and your gear, and 1 or 2 of our dive masters will go, and basically you'll lose the second and the afternoon dive. Okay? So
It's worth it.
Yeah, our scheduled day is Thursdays for that one, and it's a fun dive. Really is worth it, guys. Now they got 2 restrictions. And I'm sorry about this. Don't shoot the messenger.
No GoPro.
No GoPros. Any other camera or GoPro light you can't have. If it looks like a GoPro, they won't let you in the water with it.
Emphatically.
But any other camera's fine. If you've got big rigs or sea lights or any of that, that's fine. They just won't let you in with a GoPro. The second one is...
Why is that?
Because it takes awesome pictures and they're trying to sell their video.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
About
Don't let
$100
anybody
a
try to tell
pop.
you.
Yeah.
The 2 excuses that they've tried to pass off are, one, that technology emits a certain frequency that irritates the shark.
That's bullshit.
I'm sorry, I'm an electrical engineer.
It's like wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And if they hear you conspiring to get 1 video, they're going to require you get at least 2 to for sharing.
It is correct.
The second thing that they have
talk
is
about
if
it.
you have
Don't let them know
video
you're with
lights,
others.
Don't turn them on. Okay. Now that one's purely because it ruins their videographer, who's out away from the wall shooting into you guys. Okay. So that's their 2 rules. Like I said, don't shoot the messenger. Not my rules. Regarding the Mayan Princess, of course, you need to take a towel that day. The reason is it's the foo-foo end of the island. They don't have docks down there. So basically we back the boat up to the sand. We drop the ladders down. You're going to get off in waist to chest-high water, holding your towel above you, and you walk up onto the resort property. Okay? And basically, once you're up on the property, use the towel to just dry yourself off so you're not dripping wet. Okay? You can go in with flip-flops or bare feet. We go in with bare feet. The sand is really soft, so you don't need shoes. Can't go in with dive booties or dive skins or anything like that that holds water. Okay? So keep that in mind. But we'll see how it goes for the Mayan on the weather and what's going on. Non-divers are always welcome to join us on the boats. Okay, if you want to go out and do some snorkeling or just to be part of the crew or part of the group, that's fine. Okay. Any questions? Right now, water temp as of yesterday was 84, 85. We don't have thermal climbs except for days like this where it's raining. The top couple feet is going to be really cold. Down below it'll be really nice and warm.
Excellent.
And it stays the same temperature all the way down.
That's good.
The other thing that we have here is we don't have the currents like Cozumel.
Right.
Okay? So basically, from time to time, we'll say we're doing a drift dive. That's only because we want to cover more of the reef. It means you're going to have to fin to get to the next location. Sorry about that. But that's the way that goes. Any other questions I can answer for anybody?
Rental equipment.
About what?
Rental equipment.
Lots of rental equipment. In fact, we have new equipment here. We've got Scuba Pro BCs and rigs. Very nice. We have some computers. I don't know how many. I think I got 5 total. What's that?
Weight integrated VC.
Yes.
Time.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we come in from the lunch for lunch, can
Yeah.
we wear our skins and our feet into the lunchroom?
They like for you not to be dripping wet in there either, okay? But I mean, by the time you get up to the restaurant here, down there they're a lot more strict. They have the wet police, you know, like they used to have the mask police down there all the time too. Okay.
I get yelled at all the time.
Yeah, but no masks now are required, so that's cool. Okay. Yes, you can. You can pay for the shark dive. The shark dive is great, guys. Like I said, we've never had any complaints about it. Everybody loves it.
And I've never lost one person I've taken.
Yeah, I was going to say it could
Not
be
one.
because we asked for the money up front, or it could be because nobody ever comes back. We don't know.
Okay. Bob, I need 2 minutes. That's it.
Go for
My
it.
briefing's real short. Okay? Briefings are what? Brief!
I'll be right back.
Okay, right out of the gate, we've got 3 boats we're going to be using. All right? But to start out with, we're going to use 2 boats because one of my groups loves diving together.
That would
And
be us Texans.
that would be the Texans. Well, hey, look, when you guys are finally able to get out of mud and dive in real water, I understand.
Absolutely.
I mean, I get it. You guys crawdads and mud frogs, I get it. We have to dive in our mess, so we have the same problem. So here's my issue though, okay? We have a group of divers that are newer. Okay, first off, I'll show of hands real quick. PADI professionals. I know I've got 3 or 4. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Okay, right there we've got master scuba diver trainers. We've got dive masters. We've got instructors. Okay, these are the folks that are diving with all of you. Okay, so understand. Not only do you have us, you got Bob. You got 2 dive masters going to be in the water, so we got a lot of experience. The folks that don't have a lot of experience, all right, there's about 9, and that's not saying you guys aren't great divers. You got just newer divers. We have some very experienced divers as well, all right? We got one big rule, And there's one rule I point out. That's, you know, you want to tell them what it is? Don't follow who? Don't follow me and don't follow Eric. All right? Don't follow me or Eric. The first time I went diving with Eric, he was here on a fan trip. I'm down at about, never mind, taking lionfish. And I look up, because I'm diving by myself, you know, self-reliant, got my tanks on, you know, I got my backups, got everything in place. I'm doing my thing, and I look up, and there's this dude up there about 20 feet above me, looking at me, watching what I'm doing. I'm like, why are you down here with me, and who the hell are you? Next thing you know, he and I are diving together every goddamn dive we do now. So we dive the same type of profile, which gets me back to what I was talking about. I want you all to dive together the first dive. Is 18? 18 on the boat. Now everybody wants to dive together, and I'm all for that. I love it because I love diving with my peeps too. All right, but I think you're going to be miserable. I think you're going to be miserable with 18 people on a boat. So I've got a backup boat. All right. So the next day, if there are a few of you that decide, okay, maybe I don't want to dive with 18, and maybe I got a couple on my boat that say, you know what, I think maybe we got 10 on ours. Maybe we'll scoot over there too. We'll probably have another boat with some other guys on there that are a little more experienced that can dive together. Anybody got a problem with that? We can go 3 boats out of the gate if you want. If you want. And that's the primary reason I'm talking right now, is to make that decision. I want everybody to have a great time. Right? We're a dive club. We're not a travel agency. We've been doing this for 20 years, and we love each other, and we love doing it. We want everybody to be happy. So, with that said, let's think about it. Tomorrow, 18 on one. I got my crew on 10 on the other. The next day we will have 3 boats still if we need it. Everybody cool with that? You can go, you know what? I got a kayak with an anchor. Hey, don't laugh. Eric and I almost took a kayak and an anchor and went out there because we were pissed off one day. Nobody was diving.
You could do that as well, right?
Honey, if you want to jump on our 10, that's fine. That's fine.
The only thing I ask guys is after you make,
That is so shiny.
after the first day and you decide how you want to do it for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, don't keep changing.
No. Because these guys got to know where you're going. However, with that said, Darren and I were also talking about the chance, since we're all been, there's a few of us have been diving together for the last 3-4 years. And we haven't had, I go with her because we stay 2 weeks. But there's some of you I'd love to dive with. And I'd like to kind of mix the boats up one day.
Uh-oh.
Where you get to
You just gave him heart
dive
failure.
with some
Poor
other
Bob.
people. It will be a clusterfuck when we do it, excuse my French. But I think it would be a good time to get out there and dive with some of us that you see every time we do the trip, but you never get to dive together. So just an idea.
If we want to do the line fishermen, we all want to go on.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Who's a lion? Who kills lionfish? There you have it, like that. All right, if you kill lionfish, hey, guys, if you haven't noticed, front of
That's
the
the
shirt. You know, we're supposed to be like eradicating these things.
It's worth doing.
So if you haven't done, well, I will say this. I will say this. There will be some folks out there with spears in the water that don't have licenses. But if you're one of those folks, make sure you got your buoyancy like really under control. Okay. With that said, that's all I got. Okay.
All right.
And thank you for coming. Oh, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Thank you. By the way, worst day of travel I think I've had in 10 years was yesterday. You had a bad day. I know you had a bad day. I know there's a couple others had bad ones. But, you know, we're here dealing with a hurricane better than probably most groups would. So
That's right.
thanks for coming.
That's right. Now, also, guys, I'll be joining the boats. I'll be on each of the boats this week. I show all the pictures Friday night up in the bar area. The good news is all my stuff's online, so you can see it from anywhere in the world. So if you do decide you want to buy something, you can do it online.
Bob doesn't know what a briefing is, but
Bless
he is
you.
one of the best underwater photographers I've ever met.
So anyway, any other questions before I take some group pictures and we let you out of here? It's not like we're rushing to the boats today, so
Oh, we have lockers
you
lined
got
up?
lockers. Yep, lockers are down there.
This group of 18 from Texas is on the Luca.
Luca!
The Luca.
Yeah, tomorrow the 18 are on the
Robin
Luca.
as our guide master, and Austin Jr.
I do not. I was about to ask Bob that.
We are
Tres?
the first
Uno, dos, tres.
lockers.
She said her
One,
first group was
two,
18.
go find your name on a
Fabulous.
thing and put your gear.
Okay, cool.
And that will be your spot. I've already put everybody's name.
Yeah,
Put
then
9 in
Luca
one
will-
and 9 in the other.
Yeah, Luke will probably be in locker number 3.
No, we're in 1 and 2.
Yeah, we're in 3, and Texas crew is 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay.
So the very first 2, go find your name, put all your gear in that locker, and that's where it'll stay for the whole week, regardless if it's split up for the other
Okay,
boat.
that's cool. That's good.
MCX and
They'll
TCX.
all stay in the same place.
Put all these Texas folks together, you know.
All right. Well, I don't care about who's with what. I want everybody up here on the deck,
Group
and we'll get one big group picture.